Friends, welcome to today's practical lesson. We are starting this week with this very lesson, and it's called the System for Saving, Planning, and Creating in Notion. A complete system for organizing your life and projects. Welcome to a practical guide on building a comprehensive system for saving information, planning your goals, and creating projects that actually come to life. This lesson shares a proven organizational approach that has transformed how ideas are captured, structured, and executed since late 2019. The journey to finding the right system. The path to discovering an effective organizational system wasn't straightforward. Like many people who become passionate about optimizing their lives, there was an initial phase of trying practically every productivity tool available. Different apps for note-taking, various methods for tracking information, countless systems for planning. The search seemed endless. The breakthrough came after multiple attempts. The first encounter with the right platform ended in giving up. It seemed too complex. The second attempt didn't fare much better. But the third time, with a committed mindset of, I am going to figure this out, everything clicked. Since then, every project, plan, and idea has been documented, detailed, and saved in one central location. This is where concepts transform into real-world projects and achievements. Understanding the platform. This organizational platform attempts something ambitious, combining all the essential tools for saving, tracking, managing, and planning into a single application. Think of it as merging a notepad, word processor, spreadsheet software, project boards, and various to-do list applications into one unified workspace. The success of this approach is evident from the massive number of people now using similar systems for all kinds of personal and professional activities. At its core, you are working with a digital desktop, a workspace with folders. These folders can contain additional subfolders, tables for tracking various metrics, timeline boards for managing project progression, and customizable to-do lists. Setting up your workspace. Getting started requires downloading the application for your computer, Windows or Mac, or mobile device. Registration is simple, especially if you use a Google account. It's essentially a one-click prompt. Once registered, you can access starter templates and begin building your personalized system. The beauty of this approach is its flexibility. You start with a blank workspace that you can customize entirely to your needs. The interface presents a clean desktop where you can add folders for different areas of your life and work. Building your structure. Creating an effective organizational system starts with understanding the basic building blocks. You add new pages, name them, add icons and covers for visual appeal, and then choose how to structure the content within each page. Here is where the magic happens. Any line of text can be transformed into something more functional. Using a simple menu, you can turn a text label into a larger heading for emphasis, a to-do list item with checkboxes, a drop-down list to hide detailed information, a clickable page that becomes its own workspace. This flexibility means you can start simple and expand complexity as needed. For example, you might write Life Plan as a simple line, then convert it into a folder-like page where you can add deeper content inside. Life planning and goal setting. One of the most powerful uses of this system is comprehensive life planning. You can create a dedicated section where you document your vision, mission, and core values. This isn't just abstract thinking. It becomes a permanent reference point that you can revisit, update, and use to guide decisions. Within your life plan, you can organize goals by different life areas. For each area, you might set yearly goals and even 5-year targets. The key advantage is that each goal becomes its own detailed page. Inside a goals page, you document your current situation. Point B, your desired outcome. Motivation, what happens if you stay at point A versus reaching point B? Reasons, why this goal matters to you. This approach keeps all goal-related information centralized. Instead of scattered notebook pages that get lost or damaged, everything remains accessible and editable indefinitely. You can return to any goal, reveal your motivation, and reconnect with your purpose. Project management and creation. For anyone working on courses, programs, business ideas, or creative projects, this system becomes invaluable. Every project gets its own dedicated space where you can structure, plan, and track progress. Projects typically begin with a timeline board, a visual representation of everything that needs to be done. This timeline has columns like To Do, In Progress, and Completed. You start by listing every single task required for the project launch or completion. For example, When creating a new course, you might list outlining the structure, creating the sales page, finding a filming location, planning the production schedule, finding website developers, writing sales copy, and dozens of other necessary tasks. Once everything is listed, you begin working. As you start a task, you move it to in progress. Each task is actually a clickable link that opens its own page where you can add detailed information. Let's say your course has 3 main modules or weeks. You create entries for week 1, week 2, and week 3. Then you dive deeper. Week 1 becomes its own page where you outline day-by-day topics. Each topic can become another page with even more detailed planning. This nested structure allows infinite depth without becoming chaotic. You can drill down from the big picture to minute details, then zoom back out to see overall progress. As tasks are completed, they move to the completed column. Important elements can be saved for future reference, while simple completed tasks can be left in the completed section without cluttering your active workspace. Learning and knowledge management. When taking courses, reading books, or consuming educational content online, this system provides a perfect repository for knowledge. You can create dedicated sections for different learning areas. For each course or book, you create a page where you save key concepts and main ideas, important quotes or principles, screenshots of diagrams or models, links to relevant resources, your own reflections and applications. The beauty of digital knowledge management is permanence. You might take a course years ago, but the insights remain accessible forever. You can search, review, and apply those learnings to current projects. Information that might have been lost in forgotten notebooks or scattered documents stays organized and retrievable. When you encounter useful information, whether from a video, article, or conversation, you immediately capture it in the relevant section. This builds a personal knowledge base that grows more valuable over time. Tracking personal interests. Beyond work and learning, the system excels at managing personal interests. Reading lists. Maintain a board of books you want to read, are currently reading, and have completed. When someone recommends a book or you hear about an interesting title, add it immediately. As you read, move it to in progress. And you can even create a page for that book where you note key insights, favorite passages, or personal reflections. Wish lists. Create a bucket list of experiences and achievements. 100 wishes, 1,000 wishes, whatever feels right. Want to learn surfing? Jump out of a plane? Fly in a helicopter over a city? Visit a specific country? Document it all. When you are looking for something exciting to do, browse your wish list for inspiration. As you accomplish items, check them off and watch your life experiences accumulate. Fitness tracking. If you are following workout programs, you can document entire routines, track weights and repetitions, and monitor progress over time. Instead of scattered gym notebooks, everything stays in one accessible place. Managing life areas. Perhaps the most frequently used feature is tracking different life areas, the domains where progress and growth matter most to you. These might include health, relationships, career, finances, personal development, creativity, or spirituality. For each important life area, create a dedicated folder containing goals. What you want to achieve in this area, both short-term and long-term. Timeline. A task board showing what actions you need to take to achieve those goals. As you think of necessary steps, add them. As you work on them, move them through your workflow. Ideas. Any thought, resource, or opportunity related to this area. When inspiration strikes, capture it immediately. For example, in personal development, you might have a goal to achieve conversational fluency in a new language. Your timeline would include tasks like find a native speaker tutor, enroll in an online course, or practice daily with language app. As you complete each step, you see tangible progress toward your goal. When ideas emerge, like taking a specific course, reading a particular book, or attending a conference, you note them in your ideas section. You don't have to act immediately, but the idea is preserved. Later, when you have time and energy, you review these ideas, prioritize them, and move them into active tasks. The mental freedom effect. The true power of this system isn't just organization, it's mental liberation. Unfinished tasks and forgotten ideas create enormous mental burden. When you are trying to remember everything in your head, those open loops drain cognitive energy. You are constantly worried about forgetting something important. By externalizing everything into this organized system, you free your mind for actual creative and productive work. You know with certainty that no idea will be lost, Every goal is documented and tracked. All tasks are visible and organized. Important information is preserved and searchable. This isn't about creating busy work or adding complexity. It's about reducing mental clutter and creating clarity. When you capture an idea while watching a video, adding it to the relevant project with notes and links, you experience immediate satisfaction. The idea isn't just floating anxiously in your mind, it's documented with context, ready for future action. Implementation and personalization. Getting started means downloading the platform, creating an account, and building your initial structure. You can use templates or build from scratch. The important part is making it yours. Choosing icons, organizing folders in ways that make intuitive sense to you, and developing habits of regular use. The first time you capture an idea, immediately, instead of hoping you'll remember it later, you'll experience the system's value. The first time you complete a project by systematically working through a visual task list, you'll understand its power. This approach to organization transforms how you interact with your own life and work. Ideas become projects, goals become achievements. Chaos becomes clarity. And most importantly, you gain the mental freedom to focus on what truly matters, taking action and bringing your vision to life. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave your comments when you try it out and share your insights. See you in the next lesson. Let's go.